whenever you're ready, gang. For the recording, this is round 5 of Fight Night 2. We have Brayden and Dylan playing at the 9-1 bracket, and we have a Lurrus revealed from Dylan here. Alright, looks like both players kept 7. Kid is on the play and is leading with a Sacred Foundry into a Guide of Souls. Alright. Well, it's definitely not Breach, which is cool. Guide of Souls did get misstepped, which is a thing. We'll see if the Wooded Foothills makes a play. If Brayden's got a 1-drop here. He has a Giver of Runes. Alright. So, pretty chill start here. Bunch of spells got fired off. Boo, misstep. Boo, boo, guide. So we had a turn 1 Guide of Souls that got met with a misstep. A turn 1 Giver of Runes which got met with a bolt. So both players sort of jockeying for early game positioning here in some kind of red-white X mirror. Dylan does have Lurrus as a companion, so I would put a fair amount of equity on his side of the board right now. Looks like modern, yeah, a little bit. I mean, other than the misstep and the Caracas and the Plateau and the Lurrus. Other than those... yeah, modern. Alright, looks like a Raucous Theatre, Concealed Courtyard into Nethergrove. So it looks like an actual Mardu mirror. Dylan's side is obviously much lower to the ground with Lurrus, which means cards like Barragoyf from Brayden's side are probably going to be what decides it. It's going to be how many impactful 3 and 4 drops he can see that don't get Caracased versus Lurrus. Let's play Highlander. Each player throws 4 cards in each other's faces. Flage targeting Nethergrove. Alright. Well, the Flage isn't going to end the game anytime soon because of Caracas. But the Nethergrave didn't get to attack. So we're reaching turn 4 and no one has any permanents in play. Samwise! Samwise pick up Nethergrave? Hell yeah! And we have Caracas Samwise? And Sam is our ring bearer? Sheesh! Well, that's a thing that we... what does the second one do? Because... he can get the second one. You loot! That's sick. Yeah, Samwise the Stout-Hearted is actually a card I've put in a lot of 7-point decks. Usually with, like, baubles, it's pretty gas. But it has been a while. Boo, Universes Beyond. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, Raucous Theatre on Dylan's side. And a Bone Man to eat the Flage. Oh, Dylan's way ahead now. Interesting no attacks there. I mean, I guess if you're just jockeying for position. Oh, there's the Barragoyf I mentioned. That is a 3-drop that outclasses every 2-drop in your deck. But at the same time, I mean, Bone Man is a big deal. Lurrus is a big deal. We're picking up Samwise. Big deal overthinking their swords. Alright, so Samwise Caracas as a loop is quite good against removal spells, outside of Swords to Plowshares. Speaking of swords, swords answering Barragoyf. Brayden's in the hole. Like Brayden's in a hole right now. He has 3 cards in hand versus a Samwise in hand. So if he draws any kind of removal that isn't exile-based, Terminate, etc., that's not going to work against this board state. Emperor at some point will dome him with a Flage trigger, potentially. Plus the 2/2. Or more likely, just protect something with a Giver of Runes, which is kind of sick. Eating a Giver with Emperor Bones. Although, Dylan doesn't have black mana up at the moment. Binder, Headlight, and Scarlet. That seems very reasonable. There is a decent chance that Brayden has 1 to 2 cards in hand that are legendary creatures. And so the fact that he has quote-unquote 4 cards in hand might not be actually 4 cards in hand. Like this Squee Dubious Monarch. Chromux the Squee Go suggests Solitude most likely. I guess it could be something else. Kind of feels like it has to be that though. Has to be Solitude, right? It's just a matter of whether or not you give them the option of headlinering you. I think this is probably just going to be attack for 6, do nothing, say go. Probably optimal. This Solitude timing means you can get flaged. You lose your Nethergoyf, but there's nothing you could have done about that. And now Bone Man can get in for 4. Bone Man's pretty good. Does he get sacrificed or exiled? That's a finality counter, right? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, if that puts the thing back. Oh, we're still mid-combat, so he can Samwise to get a loot out of it? Is that what's happening? So Samwise flashed in, not to get a loot, but because your Ring Bearer is legendary. And so Dylan could Caracas the Nethergoyf in response to the Solitude trigger on it. That's so sick! That's so gas! Imagine spending 5 mana for Solitude and being that far in the hole at the end of that turn. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know that part of the Ring Bearer text has come up more than like once. So we're playing Gut Out, another legendary, specifically to try to overtax the Caracas here, which I think is reasonable. Diamond feeling real bad? Do you mean the Chromux? Or something else? I don't know. Yeah, Chromux. So, at the moment, Dylan is decently ahead, has an engine going, has access to a companion, and has more cards in hand. I would say he's probably like 80% to win this game. Especially because a lot of Brayden's outs are kind of just This is not Dylan Brown or Dylan Kakawa, which is, I assume, what DB and DK stand for. This is Dylan Kid, so a different DK, I guess. Heat the Gut to not have to Caracas it, play another Goif. have the Caracas Samwise up if need be. Play Croakser to deal 3 damage. Deal the third first of his name. Alright, Brayden has to draw something. Something fucking incredible. No. Alright, Dylan wins game 1 in a Mardu mirror. The differences there were not that striking. I mean, the fact that Dylan has to play 2 drops at a cap because of Lurrus didn't really come up. The main thing that happened that game was Caracas. Like, Caracas turned off a bunch of Brayden's hand and then turned on Samwise and then kind of just put Brayden in the dirt. Although the Bone Man eating Flage was also a very big deal. Like, if Brayden could keep throwing Flage at the Caracas and at these creatures, it might have been enough. Caracas Bearer. Yeah, that was so sick. I used to play Mardu Pyro in every format. Hell yeah. Mardu Pyromancer in Modern was such a banger. Faithless Looting, my beloved, died for everyone else's sins. That was sick. Alright, game 2. Brayden's going to have the option of play or draw. Again, I think in an abstract sense, considering this is ostensibly a mid-range mirror, I'm going to put the money on Lurrus. Like, having a companion is already so broken, but the fact that it's Lurrus and your deck isn't filled with absolutely horrendous cards because they keep printing broken 1 and 2 drops, probably just good enough. That being said, Dylan did mull to 6, so it's effectively a 7-on-7 with the Lurrus. Turn 1 Mum will get answered if possible. If not, GG's. Alright, turn 1 Mum is dead. Now Brayden has the option of insert 2-drop. Ajani, probably. Yep. I call it how I see it, gang. Now, Ajani is a weird one. The way you choose to interact with Ajani largely depends on how much you're trying to get out of it versus how much you think you can get out of it. So, like, one of the options is just kill Ajani, move on with your life, and deal with the Cat Warrior token later. Like that, Prismatic Ending on Ajani. A different option is to wait until you can kill the cat inside of combat or prior to combat and then attack the Ajani or threaten to attack the Ajani. And then another option is to just ignore both entirely. I think Pris Ending on the Cat Warrior would have also been fine. There usually aren't too many cats that people play, but it's definitely not 0. This is a big deal. Alicia bringing back Mum. Dylan is on the back foot now. He's going to have to do something real big this turn. Like, he definitely wants to try and kill Mum. Isn't able to. That's a bad start. He also wants to kill Alicia, but now that Mum's online, can't do that. Bad spot. This is pretty bad. Cycle on Earth? Yeah, no. We're dead. Mardu still obnoxiously pushed. I wouldn't say obnoxiously. You have to make real choices now. I was mentioning in chat earlier, there are a lot of different ways to build Mardu, where prior there weren't that many ways, because so many cards were 0 points. And now you have reasonable decisions. Thoughtseize, take something to put under the Voidwalker. Crack in for 1,000,000 damage. Yep. Yeah, I don't think we're winning that one, like, ever. once the mum's back on and the Alicia's threatening to bring everything back every turn. Alright, going to game 3. Dylan will have the play this time, and will hopefully not mulligan to 6, although the 6 looks reasonable. I mean, he had a bunch of removal spells. He just kind of died to infinite threats. But we'll see what happens. See if the turn 1 mum test comes up again. Oh, I don't know if there's a card bot. I can't remember if I put a card bot. I feel like I did. You might just have to look it up the old way. Alright, turn 1, Godless Shrine. Bauble after fetch is interesting. Into Nethergrove, sure. We get a Bauble draw. I mean, turn 1, 2, 3 is pretty big. Like a Curdape that gets bigger. Brayden plays the perfect turn of Caracas Insta Swords to Plowshares. Swords gets misstepped, so now Nethergrowth is even bigger, and one of the few bits of exile-based removal is gone. This Nethergrowth might hit Brayden for like 16 now. That is entirely possible. Assuming he has some kind of follow-up. Oh, is he missing a land? No, probably not. Maybe? Strip go? Okay. So are we trying to set up, like, Strip Mine Samwise? I mean, we still have a 3-4. Brayden still has to deal with Nethergrowth at some point. But he doesn't have a plow to do that with. And basically all of the other standard Mardu removal spells don't exile. No one's playing Path to Exile. It's usually like Molten Collapse, Fatal Push, Bolt, Heat, maybe a Pending. So it's probably Pending. I'm assuming Dylan is setting up Strip, Samwise Strip, but it might be something else. He might just want to hit 3 mana. Or has like Ophelia end of turn. Brayden's in a pretty sick spot here. There's a lot that can go wrong in this turn cycle. Like, you can be all kinds of dead at the end of this turn cycle. Dreadfugue sees Probe, Inti, Sheoldred's Edict, and Samwise. Did have the Samwise. Kept the Strip because don't have another land. Sheoldred's Edict to get rid of a blocker. Doesn't have red for Inti. And didn't fire off the Probe because it was drawn off the Bauble. Okay, so Brayden's Dreadfuging the Samwise and just saying go, which means he's probably getting stripped this turn. The Probe will happen. Nethergrowth's a 5/6 now, which is just enormous. And Brayden's hand is Animate Dead, Guide of Souls, Orcish Bowmasters, Flage, and Pyrokinesis. None of those cards beat Nethergrowth. Additionally, none of those cards beat Strip Mine. I think this Nethergrowth is going to solo Brayden. I'm fairly confident that's what's going to happen. Yep. Getcha for 5. And Brayden's hand is basically air. Drew a plateau. Okay. I mean, that helps, I guess. We just put the Guide of Souls in the Abyss. Well, put Brayden into the Abyss. So I think he needs to draw another land. Or again, like a Prisending. He has a Pyro, so he can do a decent amount of damage to the Netherglyph. I just don't know if he can do enough damage to it without like losing all of his red cards. So we're probably chumping this turn, I guess. We have to be chumping, right? Oh, are we edicting to push damage through? Yeah, okay. Should probably start getting cards together for Sunday. I mean, that seems reasonable. Alright, now that Brayden is on 1, fetch lands are no longer live. GG's. Small Ball, Lurrus, Strip Mine, Samwise, Mardu beats bigger, regular Mardu. There you go.